Yeah, you don't want me singing, that's for sure. You do not want me singing any songs. I really admire people who can play an instrument or have a good voice. Not my gifts, and in fact, sort of just the opposite. Whenever I did try to play instruments, and I tried to play a saxophone, I tried to play piano, all these different things. When you're Italian, growing up in an Italian home, you got to play an instrument, right? You're playing something. I wound up playing the accordion for a while.
So did my brother.
I need some accordion music. If you can find any of that.
Oh, some polka music?
I need a post-traumatic accordion syndrome polka music. No. Yes. Italian said that was Polish, I think. But in order to play the piano teacher said, Mrs. Trento, I don't think you want to buy a piano before your son even determines whether or not he likes it. The keyboard on an accordion is similar, so let's start with that.
I thought that was for Polish people, not Italians.
No, Italians
play it all the time.
It's big. They have little monkeys usually that jump around and go get quarters. But I did that. My cousin and I started at the same time, actually. And after 6 weeks, I said, "Give me a football, man. I'm done with this." And I got involved in a lot of sports. And my cousin, who was an athlete too,
Your cousin Vinny? Was he named Vinny?
Jimmy. My cousin Jimmy. What's up, Jim? Yo, bro, what's happening there? And he's out of Jersey now. But it was his birthday the other day. Happy birthday to my cousin Jimmy. I'm not going to mention your last name. You do not need the enemies of this show to know who you are. You don't need that. But yes, I admire all of you that can play an instrument and all of you that can sing.
Well, thank you, Tom.
One of the more interesting things is people who think they can sing but they can't. You ever see that situation?
Yes. That's called American Idol.
It's called American Idol, yes.
That's that show, but you got to give them a lot of credit for getting out there. But
yeah, I can sing backup. I can't sing lead
you got a good voice.
Yeah, it's all right. But keyboards, I used to play a lot of keyboards.
You were a musician, huh?
Yeah. And
can you play your GarageBand on your iPhone?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. We'll have to do that on the air.
I used to play keyboards in bands for a long time. Played every brass instrument ever made. Found my old jazz album years ago. We had a really good jazz band. We played all the different types of jazz music, from swing to everything.
Well, welcome to the Music Hour on Friday, January.
You know who
23rd.
the best musical counter-jihadist is?
The best who? Wow.
Musical counter-jihadist in town.
Yeah, John Guandolo.
No, actually, I was going to say Joe Citizen.
Joe Citizen's pretty
good.
Joe
Citizen is tremendous.
Yeah,
That's a real-life musician, that guy.
Musician.
He made a living at it for decades.
Yeah. Well, Guandolo has a band.
Guandolo plays, too. That's right.
He plays guitar. Yeah, we actually played his song. He actually wrote a song. I wrote a music video for it.
I'm sensing something new here. How about the Jihadis? We come up with a band.
The Jihad Street Band.
Jihad Street Blues. E Street. Yeah, the Jihad Street Band. Hey, it's whenever you hear the word jihad, you got to know that we're getting close to Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday. Oh, there he is.
Trento. I'm very sorry for showing up late, and I am very sorry.
No problem, Imam Abdullah. We know that on Fridays you are prostrate.
Yes, I'm headbanging. I'm fresh from the masjid.
From the masjid, and you're there. You're cursing the Jews and Christians
your bump's getting
worldwide.
Pretty big. Yeah.
Or do you guys go through cartoons and look at cartoons and all of that stuff? What do you really think? Look, we're a few days removed from the horrendous slaughter of innocent cartoonists by Muslims, and even Muslims were saying, "Hey, we've gone too far." Why do you guys get so offended at a ridiculous little cartoon?
Because you are blaspheming our religion. You cannot make fun of the prophet. This is very well. Okay. This needs no explaining. Yeah, you see what happened in the past when people make fun of the prophet. Sometimes you pay in blood.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little something about my upbringing. grew up on the mean streets of New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and they weren't that mean because certain parts were. I lived in the Italian section, seat 22C.
And the pilot comes out and
plane
asks you, "Hey Trento, why do we just hit so much turbulence?"
What happened, Trento? The plane's jumping around. What do I know? You're the pilot of the plane, you know.
Well, I don't know. Hell, I'm just flying.
I grew up in the mean streets of New Jersey, but if you stayed in the Italian section, North Ward section, where Tony Imperiale had a tank during the day, he did have a tank, right? If you grew up in that neighborhood, you can walk around at 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock. Everybody, hey, Mrs. Rossetti, hey, Tommy, whoa, go home, Tommy, yeah. Hey, Vinny, what's that? You know, everybody took care of everybody. It was wonderful. But still, you got into fights, even with, you know, on the schoolyard playground and all that. We always fighting all the time.
Oh, you mean when the Irish kids would show
The
up?
kid, or the Polak would come, right? We had
now
Polish people.
Now you're in trouble.
No. We had Polish people across the
You're
street.
going to get in so much.
It was the Irish always causing the fights.
We didn't know it was derogatory to say the Polacks are across the street. You know, the Guineas are over here. They would say that's the way we talk to each other. Nobody knew that what political correctness was. It was in terms of endearment because we were all friends.
Those were the freaking days, eh?
Those were the days they were. But everybody was very, very tight. But you get into fights, right? So,
AT, how many guys you have to throw a beating back then?
Yeah. But a couple of times, particularly in the younger grades, you know, I got a little scraped up, right? And I would come home, talk to my mother, and she was tough, man. I mean, she was tough.
Lay down the law. Huh?
But she would say, you fight if somebody's bothering you, fight, and you fight to win. But she goes, I don't want you fighting if people are just calling you names.
Right.
And she told me, and I learned this as a little kid, sticks and stones will break your bones, but what?
But jihadis will never hurt you.
No. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Because they used to call us names. You know, everybody.
We have never heard that one in the Muslim world.
No.
Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. So it was ingrained in my thinking, let people call you whatever they want. It really means nothing. All it shows is the smallness of that individual.
Right.
If they try to break your bones with a stick or a stone, that's a different story. So, Imam Abdullah, all of that in my little childhood.
Well, we're going to show this.
Okay, that's the Charlie Hebdo.
100 lashes for you if you die laughing. If I show this on the screen right now, will you chop my head off?
Being we are here in the United States, we do not live under the Sharia law. If we lived in a place that I could get away with cutting your head off, you know full well I would. Yes, absolutely. If we live in Pakistan and you show this cartoon, I chop your head off and I will be hero. Hamas would call me hero like they call the knife attacker. Hamas called that man hero.
Oh, you mean the other day, bus line 40 in Tel Aviv?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do you... So this is a cartoon figure of a person who has no face to draw upon, who we're not really
Nobody
sure
knows what Muhammad looks
look
like.
like.
But it is the intent. The intent was to insult my prophet. So by you intentionally...
What is insulting by that? That's just funny.
But-
100 lashes for you.
Because you're
for
meant
my
to be
laughing.
funny and you know we have no fun.
Let's grant that it's insulting. Because in one sense,
It's just funny. Anyway.
well, in one sense, the level of insulting at 15 minutes after 4 o'clock, everybody, January 23rd. Hi, Tom Trento, your host, WSBR Radio. It's Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday. Right now, we're going to have some Skyped-in guests a little later.
Quite possibly. I do not see your little blonde Zionist here.
But we do need to come...
Just sent you mail with photos from today in case you want to talk about that. Check your mail. We have some stuff. And yes, we're going to have Jumpin'. We're going to have Jerusalem Jane in a little bit. Update from there. But the insult, in one sense, Mark, the insult is really subjective from the outside person's point of view, objective from the person who's being insulted, because you could look cross-eyed at a person, they feel insulted, right?
Well,
so let's grant he's insulted, right? Where does my mother's admonition to me Growing up, little Tommy Trento in the streets of New Jersey, sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Isn't that cartoon just a big name? Like just calling you a big name?
My friend, where did you grow up? New Jersey? You tried that in Pakistan. Let me tell you how this goes. Not very well. We do not, that is an American saying. We do not care. That is, listen, our laws come from Allah, translated through Muhammad, and the Hadith and the Surah. It is very clear. You do not insult.
Sense tension there, yeah.
You do
I
not
sense
insult.
a clash. I
yeah,
sense a
clash of
Yes, yes,
Western
yes.
civil.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like, and suppose the drawing of these cartoons has no intent to insult, but just to create humor.
It matters not. There is no humor in Islam. You know this very well.
So you have, I guess, and we know that from this book here, the Reliance, the
Yeah, in
rule
fact,
book.
there's a lot of things that will insult people to commit extreme violence on people. Commenting on their dress, I think was one of them.
Yeah.
Commenting on
Shall
their
we read it?
yeah, it's under insulting Muslims.
Slander. I think it's under
Slander. That's right.
Slander.
But you know, what I don't understand. So, is there a freedom of speech in Islam, or is there not?
Of course, you are free to say anything that does not offend the Prophet.
So, like, if I just said Islam is a false religion,
I kill you.
but that's slander.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. That is offending my Muslim sensibilities as well as the sensibilities of the
right, well,
entire
let me ask you-
Ummah.
well, let me
In
ask
fact,
you-
I would be killing you on behalf of the entire Ummah.
How about this?
I would be guaranteed Jannat if I were to kill you for saying such things. Yes, Tom?
How about if I went to the streets of Pakistan and asked this and said, "God does not exist. I'm an atheist."
There is no being a non-believer is worse than being a Jew or a Christian, actually. So yes, death to you, very much death.
Very much death to
Yes,
me.
yes, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
clash.
All right, so
Again, you're just lucky we are here. I am the minority here for now. For now, of course, we would like to replace your man-written constitution with Sharia Islamia, of course.
But we don't have these rules where if you make fun of us, we kill you. Or you draw cartoons.
or
we
you
kill
simply state that
We
you're an
don't have it.
atheist.
Can I ask you this? How old is your country?
238 years old.
And how old is Muhammad? Peace be upon him.
1470.
Okay, we trump you, dummy. We've been doing this for almost
That's a good point.
He's got a point
over
there.
1,400 years. We've been enforcing this. Why?
You've been
why,
hating-
So what are our choices? What do we do at this
You
point?
have three choices. You know them very well. Convert to Islam, like the Imam Chowdhury has invited you to avoid the hellfire. Number two is you live as second-class citizen, as a dhimmi, and you pay the jizya. And number
tax.
three is we just lop your infidel head off.
You know, when you're in the sales world, you offer three levels for the sale.
Yeah.
And usually they take the middle one.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not too wild about converting to Islam.
Right,
I love bacon. I love
Yeah.
barbecue ribs. Throw ribs on the grill. You put a little stuff on
Stop
them,
it,
turn them
please.
over.
Stop
Oh,
it.
man,
Stop
it's tremendous, you know.
Stop it.
Pork chops, love it. It would be very difficult for me to go through life without eating good pork, right? Good
So you're not going to be a Jew either, then?
Well, no, yeah. I'm happy being a Christian, but none of my Jewish friends have said become one of us or we have to kill you.
Chop your head off.
So I'm not going to convert at this point unless you persuade me it's true. But apart from that, and I'm not real wild about losing my head, you know. So that
Especially not after a fresh haircut.
Yeah, that's right. Look at
I
that.
know.
man.
There you go.
That number two thing where you just become. You said second class. I think
It is
that-
more like third class. More like a piece of garbage.
More like-
We get to spit on you, push you, take your money, take your wife if I want your wife. Anything. You basically have no rights. And as soon as we say the agreement is off and we choose to lop your head off, we lop your head off. For instance, if you were to run
For
out
the record,
of money.
I don't have a wife, but besides that, if I had a wife, you'd take her. So it's not even first class. It's like, what is it, stowage when you're in the bottom of the
Yeah,
ship? Is
yeah.
that what it's
You're in steerage class.
Steerage, that's
Yeah.
what it is, steerage. But just describe that for a moment. Let's say I'm I'm in Pakistan, okay? I'm in a Sharia protected country. And I go, I don't want to be one of you guys, but I also don't want to lose my head. So I'll do what you tell me to do. What's my life like every day?
Pathetic.
Pathetic.
You
Oh,
must,
good.
you cannot even walk on the same side of the street as the Muslims.
Got to cross to the other side.
Yes, yes,
Now, what
yes.
about your places of worship?
God forbid it break down. You have fire. God forbid an accidental firebombing. You cannot repair this. You cannot ring your church bells. Absolutely not and never. If even natural wear and tear, you cannot repair your church. And in all likelihood, what is a church today will be a mosque not too long from now.
So, can the buildings be any higher than?
Absolutely not. From the mosque, no. A church can never be as high as the mosque in
This
the town.
isn't sounding that great at 22 minutes after 4 o'clock on a wonderful,
It
beautiful Friday afternoon. Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday. Tom Trento, your host here, Enemies of the State. We're having an interesting discussion. Mark and I are talking to Imam Abdullah. It's Jumm'ah Friday. The Imam just came from the mosque, and he's sharing the beauties, the wonder, the aesthetics, the self-satisfaction, the joy, the humor, the grace, the blessings of Islam.
Tom, have you converted?
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
take choice one?
Now, and the way we got into this discussion for our audience, and you could watch us live on theunitedwest.org, theunitedwest.org, or teapartycommunity.com, Breitbart TV, listening on WSBR 740 AM on the dial. 740 is not the time of the morning. We come on at 4 in the afternoon East Coast time. 740 is the location of the button on the radio. And we're talking about what life would be like if we lived in a Muslim country and had to become a second or third or fourth class citizen simply because we do not want to convert and we don't want to lose our head. What does Islam do for us? And we also looked at the cartoon and we started struggling with this concept of Muslims being offended by cartoons. And Mark, you suggested I look at the rule book for Islam.
Look at Sharia, Islamic law, and the Sharia law book, if you will, is Reliance of the Traveler, accepted, approved, codified, stamped, certified, whatever you want to call it. It's got every little certification in the world on it, from Al-Azhar to Saudi Arabia to accepted worldwide as Islamic law. And there's all this.
Yeah, but we got a better validator of the truthfulness of this than anything. Imam?
Yes, my friend.
Is this a for real? Do you?
Oh, that is absolutely 100% the guideline for Muslims living in the West that are not fortunate enough to live under the Sharia Islamia in their own homeland.
All right, let me read from the section that says slander. It's R22. Letter R, number 2.2, under slander, and it goes like this. Slander, ghiba, Ghiba, that's the Arabic, ghiba, means to mention anything concerning a person that he would dislike.
So anything that you dislike, Imam, is slander.
Yes. And here is the thing. Unlike your man-made slander laws, truth is does not mean that it is not slanderous to us. So what you can be saying can be absolutely 100% the truth, but if it offends my Muslim sensibilities, it is blasphemous.
Slanderous, yeah.
So if I say, truthful or not, you smell like a dead, rotting goat,
Yes.
is that slander?
Not really, because I do not mind it at all. In fact, in fact, my cologne is called the rotting goat.
Ude rotting goat.
If you,
Ude rotting goat cologne. Okay.
yes.
And it's French.
And it's French.
Yes, because there are so many, there are such big Muslim population in France. They have now making colognes and perfumes that are more in line with the aromas of the Muslim world, and the rotting goat is very popular.
Okay, I get it. Okay. All right, going on from here. This is the rule book for for Islam. Slander means to mention anything concerning a person that he would dislike. And in this
Correct.
case,
Very good. Very good.
dead rotting goat.
So that doesn't insult him.
Not
so
slander,
That's not
right?
slander.
If you were to say something insulting, yes. Even if it were truthful, it could be considered
Okay,
blasphemous.
sorry,
Yes.
I got it
You just
straight.
pick bad example.
Anything concerning a person he would dislike, whether about his body, his religion, everyday life, his self, his disposition, his property, his son, his father, his wife, his servant, his
Wives,
turban,
plural.
Wives,
Wives,
plural.
plural.
his turban.
I do not wear turban. I wear kufi hat.
You wear kufi. His garment.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's a goofy looking kufi
Kufi
hat.
hat.
Watch it, Trento. Like I
Okay,
said,
all right,
you're
we're
taking
there.
advantage. You're taking advantage in
Okay,
that we are in a
I'm
land
just-
not
just saying.
ruled by Sharia law.
I'm just seeing
Yet.
where we can go here.
Just testing the
His
waters.
gait,
Your walk. Yeah.
your walk, your movements. Does have some strange.
He does. He is kind of weird walking.
Your smiling. Okay.
Very goofy smile, I must admit.
Your disillusionistness. Your
I do not
frowning.
even know what this means.
Disillusionistness. Your frowning, your cheerfulness, or anything else connected with him. Mention means by word. So slander means to mention anything. Now, that's all those areas. Then it goes on in the rule book to define mention. By mentioning, one means a word, a writing, a sign, or indicating with one's eye.
Oh yeah, winking. Yeah. Does that offend you?
It depends. It look funny when you do it, but it does not really offend me.
Or head, eye, hand, or so forth. Like that, right? Okay, I get
You're
it.
worrying me, Trento.
Body refers to saying things as that someone is blind or lame or bleary-eyed or bald or short or tall or dark or pale. You are bleary-eyed.
Okay, this does not offend me.
All right, okay. All right.
All right. See,
I'm sure something in here offends
I'm
you.
sure you can find it, but telling me I smell like a rotting goat or that I have a weary eye, it does not offend me. I take it as compliment.
28 minutes after, we are learning more about Imam Abdullah
Oh,
here,
yeah, I
enemies
know
of the
this.
state. And your religion says that if we say about your religion that you are corrupt, if you're a thief, you cannot be trusted, you're a tyrant, you don't care about prayer, you do not wash to avoid filth, you do not honor your father, you do not spend zakat on what it should be spent
These are all
on.
terrible things to accuse anyone. These are very bad. If you were to say any of those things against me, that would absolutely be slanderous and blasphemous, and you could find yourself with your head rolling around your feet.
Time to close this book, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want to go too deeply into that because we like
I
our-
recommend you not.
Hey, we do have a $5 bet to clear up though.
What is and we do have Jerusalem Jane coming by.
She will not go on her Skype, this little...
No, can't be
Infidel.
Skype.
Kufar,
She sent
right?
the number. Did you get the number?
All right.
Let me just tell you Jerusalem Jane's phone number. No. Okay.
Text it to
Damon.
me. Text it to me.
Yeah. All right. But we did have a $5 bet yesterday, Tom, and with Ryan Murrow, if you recall.
Oh, the big Islamophobe you have on
And-
yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, we
we
had
did.
Ryan Morrow on yesterday.
Right.
Clarion Project, yes.
Mr. Smarty Pants.
Mr.
Yes.
Smarty.
Oh, Mr. Smarty, not so smarty yesterday.
Mr. Fox News correspondent, Mr. Big Time, Mr.
Big
Brain.
Time.
Yeah, right.
We had him on yesterday. We had Ryan Morrow on. He's the national security analyst for the Clarion Project. And I'm rolling over wires here. And what does that mean?
Yeah, we got her. She's
Jamie?
on. Yeah.
Oh, so I don't have to text you this.
No,
Okay.
you don't have to text me her phone number.
No. Right.
But unfortunately, I put up her phone number on the screen.
Okay.
So now, if your phone starts ringing like crazy, it was us.
Yeah, it was us. Ryan Morrow was on yesterday's show at 4:30 in the afternoon. Tom Trento, your host for the folks on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Be careful. Don't text and drive. Please drive safely on the
That's
roads.
not
of
what
Florida.
Ryan said. He encouraged that.
Who did?
Ryan.
Oh, yeah. It's New Jersey drivers he was talking about.
Yeah, well, the traffic doesn't move, so you can text and drive up there.
But we had Ryan on yesterday's show, and we called it Ryan Morrow, an inside look, national security. It may be a new feature we do once in a while, almost like a People magazine,
Right.
where we let the world see from a different point of view. Someone who's a figure on TV, all of that, and knows everything.
Right.
This guy knows everything. He's never wrong.
He's never wrong.
Ever wrong.
wrong. Never.
In fact, he predicted yesterday.
Well, we have the tape. If you just want to play,
Oh, we
the
do?
tape. Yeah, we do have a tape of it. We don't have to go long-winded about it. Here, we'll just go.
Let's watch what he predicted. And,
Okay.
This was yesterday.
And we have it
Check
on
this
tape
out.
to verify.
We have a
that-
headline to see if
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
if
yeah,
our
yeah,
expert
yeah,
was
yeah.
experty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
let's
So I'll
see.
go ahead and play it, and you bring up the headline. Here
All
we
right,
go.
let's go. We have a $5 bet on the
Sorry,
table.
sorry.
Ryan Morrow,
Sorry.
Will, and you guys too. 2 or 3 of you in here now. I want to spread the bet out. Who thinks President Obama, who wants to take the yes side of this, will invite Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House?
I'm going to say negatory.
Oh, that's right.
I think he will.
You think he will?
You think he will? All right.
Me and Ryan have
got
a $5 bet.
We got a bet there. Ryan on the positive side.
Ryan
You
says
on the
yes.
negative side. Mark, what's your view? I know. I say no.
No,
I
I'm
say-
with you on
You're
this
with no.
one.
Okay.
And
What's the
usually I
reasoning
disagree with
behind
you.
no? Because I feel like it's in his self-interest to do it.
Yeah, it is. But his hubris is a great word. His pride is going to get in the way of his self-interest. That's a bizarre situation when your pride gets in the way of your self-interest. That's usually narcissism, and that's what we have.
That's
there.
what we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You want to double down, Damon, and do the 5 with me? I say no. You say yes.
What kind of money you think I make, Trento? $10 you want me to bet?
Okay. We
Done.
agreed to say yes.
Done.
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 You're in.
I'm
How about with
done.
Mark? 15.
No, come on, man.
Okay. 10.
5 and 5. Trento and Morrow.
Okay. I
Hey,
say-
I want to show Ryan one picture, kind of like Rorschach.
All
Okay.
right, we're done.
So let me get this
that was
straight.
the bet.
So the bet was that whether or not President Obama would invite Benjamin Netanyahu was invited by Speaker John Boehner to present to Congress when he comes on March 3rd. The bet was whether or not the president, do you know how far Congress is from the White House?
3 miles?
Yeah, it's like a mile. It's right
Yeah,
up the
you're
street.
right.
You know, I mean, the guy's going to drive by, right? Come on.
Right.
Netanyahu could walk that, no problem. He's no sissy boy Obama.
I said no. You said no. Ryan, the big-time expert, said yes. Hey, you made us $5, bro. What happened?
Boom.
There it is.
Obama, White House, Obama not NOT to meet with Netanyahu in March.
Way to go, bro.
Way to go, Barack
You
baby.
made $5.
Yeah.
I made $5 from Ryan.
I made five.
Ryan, don't ever trust me. All right. How low is that now? How low is it? And was there
can you go?
Now, does Josh Ernest get up and Marie Harf? Do they get up?
The Tri-Delta sisters get up.
Explain
They already
this?
have the excuse. It's too close to the Israeli election, so it would make it seem like they're backing a particular candidate, which is such crap. It's
Yeah, well, here's the official- here's the-
unbelievable.
here's-
It's never kept this administration from meeting from any other world leader of any country, regardless of how close it is to an election. That is absolute crap. The president hates Israel, despises Netanyahu, and that excuse is just absolutely lame. And like you said at the debate a few nights ago, the pathetic Jewish population in Florida that voted 80% for Obama on the second go-around now despises him, according to some of the attendees,
people there,
after
yeah.
voting for him the second time. What do you think you're going to get, you dopes?
Well, here's
Hey.
the problem.
Well, go ahead.
No, you go ahead because
Well, Imam Abdullah.
Yes?
Is this?
Infidel.
Yes.
I can't wait to chop your head off.
Do you
one
think
day.
this was due to his, other than just his loathing of Israel and his loathing of Netanyahu, do you think this was somehow discouraged by the Muslim Brotherhood operatives that he has in his White House?
I would venture to say not only the Muslim Brotherhood that has infiltrated this administration, but Also, Valerie Jarrett, I am sure, said that it
good
would
point.
not
Good point.
bode well in the negotiations with the
Iran.
mullahs in Iran. So I am sure, and not to mention his personal dislike for the Jewish leader.
You know, I gotta say something to the folks, because this is significant, significantly significant. And what we have right now, 35 minutes after 4 o'clock, 35 minutes after the hour, on the East Coast, that hour happens to be 4 o'clock on the 23rd of January. Tom Trento, your host, Enemies of the State. And the more and more we look at it, folks, President Obama is an ideological enemy of the state of the United States of America. And he came out actually late yesterday saying that the White House came out and said, President Obama will not, N-O-T, not invite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House when Benjamin Netanyahu is here on March 3rd, 2015, speaking to the United States Congress, speaking to all 435, all 100
right.
senators.
You know what? Let's reverse this, Tom.
This is
Let's reverse this.
okay. It's a good point.
Let's reverse this.
Yep.
President Obama is invited over by the Knesset to talk in front of the Knesset by the leader of the Knesset, whoever it is,
Sure.
by the majority party. He accepts the invitation. He goes over there, and Netanyahu, who's there, right next door,
And it's 2 weeks before the elections in the United States.
2 weeks
Go
before the
ahead.
elections in the United States, which he's done right before the election in the United States, and Netanyahu says, I don't think so. I don't want to appear to be like
Partisan. I don't wanna
supporting
appear
partisan for anything. How would that fly in world press? It would be
our press
it
would go ape poo.
Netanyahu snubs president.
Absolutely.
Netanyahu snub. In fact, you take the president of the United States, put him in any country, and have him go into the parliament and not be received by the president of that country. That would be a worldwide incident.
Actually,
anywhere.
that did happen about a month or two ago. He was somewhere, and a world leader did not make any time to see him, if I'm not mistaken. He was
I don't
traveling,
remember
but
that,
I don't think he was going to
what's
the parliament.
jumbling around in my head right now is all the work we did pre-2008, trying to convince the country, particularly the Jewish community and the Christian community that's on the left, convince them that Obama is no friend of the United States, and he's certainly no friend of Israel.
He hates Israel.
And groups like AIPAC that fall over backwards to honor this president because he's a friend of the Jews. How in your right mind can you read this latest move, where at one of the most critical times in the history of Israel, where you have Hezbollah and Iran on the borders on the north and the eastern side of Israel, you have Gaza wanting to explode again, you have Israel surrounded, you have internal jihadis doing jihad attacks on a regular basis. How do you interpret the the absolute disrespect and dishonoring of Benjamin Netanyahu, the elected and the only free country in the Middle East, prime minister of a Western country who's America's #1 national security partner? How do you say, oh, we don't want to interfere in the election? What you should be saying is, we need to assist to get him reelected any way we can so that we have a strong, stable voice there. If you can't say that, you at least need to extend diplomatic courtesy to a world leader that is essential to our own national security. Every Jewish person that voted for Obama ought to be ashamed of themselves.
Ashamed!
Should work like crazy this next election to have no Democrat in any executive office.
Tom, if you'll remember, prior to this last election,
That's right.
I would like to serve as an example to all you old Jews
Lucky.
who have voted Democrat for your whole lives. Here is the example I would like to set for all of you.
Schmucky Putznick, you're what, 87?
88 now, 88.
He's been voting Democrat I mean, you
For-
didn't know there was
For
another
70
party.
years, since
didn't-
I was 18, I've been voting Democrat.
He didn't know there was another party. What's going on now with you? You just heard from Joe Cox.
Yes, I heard. I did a lot of reading and I did a lot of self-introspection over the weekend.
That's an oxymoron.
I have an earth-shattering announcement to make
Here on our show?
here on your show.
Oh, let me make sure.
For the first time in my 88-year life, I'm gonna pull the lever for a Republican.
Oh, my
my
God.
word.
I can't take what these Democrats are doing anymore.
You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen. Schmucky
Schmucky
Putznick, 70 years voting Democrat, didn't know there was a Republican Party, is this year going to vote Republican on November.
I'm going to the polls to vote for Joe Kaufman.
Oh, my word.
I can't take this little Debbie anymore.
Oh, my word. All right, well, Schmuck, you gave it a good try, my man, and you did the right thing.
I tried. I was almost murdered in Kings Point for trying, but I still tried.
You did the right thing. Thank you, Schmucky. Now, we need AIPAC and every other Jewish person, and you leftist Christians that are, President Obama's going to bring world peace, all that. Nonsensical. We are at war. We are at war with an element of Islam, Islamic jihad, with the Sharia as the threat doctrine, and we need to unite brother to brother, sister to sister with Israel, and then any other Western country that wants to stand against this Islamic onslaught. Or we could be looking at unbelievably difficult times in the West. Let's go right now to Jerusalem, of all places, and get a live update from our gal on the ground in Jerusalem, Jane. Oh, she is on Skype.
Yeah. There she is.
Hello, Jerusalem
I'm here.
Jane. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. A lot of stuff going
I barely
on.
just got in the door, so I'm actually sitting here in my bed, not in my normally TV studio, but hey, you can see me, so.
Hey, Smucky, she's in, in
I'll
her,
be
Yeah,
there in
yeah,
a few months. Oi.
Don't use the bed word with
but
these
around
guys
Smucky.
here.
Especially on a Friday. Oi.
Hi,
sorry.
Jane. Look, we've been following some of your work, and we have pictures, I think, that Damon may have. Give us an update. What the heck is going on in Jerusalem right now?
In Jerusalem. Well, I have actually not been in Jerusalem all day, Tom.
Well, the past
this
couple.
is in Tel Aviv.
Okay, tell us about Tel
This-
Aviv, and
do
then
you know
about.
who this is?
Brian Mast.
Is that your new
Yes.
boyfriend? Is that your new boyfriend?
No, this guy's married, and his wife is having baby number 3 soon.
Okay,
so now-
okay. Just checking.
Troublemaker, Mark.
Who-
You're a troublemaker.
Who is it, Jane? Who is that? And for the folks driving, we have a picture up of Jane with a very handsome, well-built guy. Who is that?
That is Brian Mast,
That is
and
Brian.
he is a U.S. war hero. He was with a special unit with the U.S. Army, and he was in a very serious accident, or when he was in Afghanistan, and he had both of his legs blown off.
Really?
And yeah, so he received all these different medals, and so of course he had to start over in his life. So he started to study. He went to the university in America. And last summer, when Israel went into Gaza, he saw all these protests against Israel, hate coming against Israel, and he was like, he's a Christian. So he was like, why are all these people protesting against Israel? I love Israel. I want to stand for Israel. So he actually decided to do something. And this is what he told me. He said, I was just not going to post on Facebook. You know, I stand with Israel. I'm a supporter of Israel. Anybody can do that. If you stand with Israel, you need to do something. So he said, I needed to get my hands dirty. So he came here.
legs.
Can you believe
His
it?
legs.
He has never been to Israel before. So he said, I was in the army in America, so I wanted to join the Israeli army. So he came here to volunteer in the IDF. So he has been here for 2 weeks working with the soldiers in the IDF.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I'm looking at some
Yeah.
pictures of him online. I mean, he really lost his legs from his thighs down. And
Yeah.
he's got two, robotic legs. So now, how did it come about and what is his job with the IDF? How did it come about that you met with him?
Well, everybody can come and volunteer with the IDF. It's a program called SAR-L, and it was just natural for him to do that because of his military background for 12 years in America. And he was like, I need to go and show support for Israel.
Ah, there are age
So we
restrictions.
Yeah. No, but he just contacted them, and then he came here. And the truth is, again, being Danish, I didn't know about a U.S. American war hero. But I had a friend of mine saying, Jane, this man he's here. He's getting his hands dirty. Do you want to meet him? I'm in contact with him. So he actually said, I know this Danish lady who was here who was a Christian like you, and she stands for Israel, and she has this threat coming against her. So Brian Mast read a little bit about me, and then I connected with him, and I said, do you have time to meet? And so he has been really, really busy here. Can I tell you, all these people wanted to meet him, all these from the ministry and organizations, and a lot of people wanted to meet him, and he decided to meet Jerusalem Jane today. So,
Right.
Hey, what can I say?
You know what? All of you American Jews out there, I want you to take notice of Brian Mast, a non-Jew American. I want you to take notice of Jerusalem Jane, a non-American, non-Israeli, non-Jew, okay, from the Netherlands, a Christian, coming to the defense of Israel. All you Jews here in America, why don't you do a little bit of something for world Jewry and for Israel, and take some notes from these people on what it's like to stand up for the only democracy in the Middle East?
Yeah, and
Thank you.
he's a great example. I'm reading a little bit. You know what? Oh, man. I have been contacted, I don't know how many times,
By his agent or something?
by friends of his to have him on the show, all of that. I didn't recognize the name. And we get a lot of people like that. But he's right here. He lives in Florida.
Oh, really?
He doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Hook
Yeah.
us up,
Florida.
Jane.
He
we
doesn't-
gotta have.
No, I have contact. Well, yeah. Are you going to see him again? Tell him. We'll talk about that offline. But he, Staff Sergeant Brian Mast, a member of the U.S. Army's elite JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, serving as an explosive ordnance disposal operator.
EOD?
IED.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
EO
EOD. He took apart the bombs when they
right,
found
right.
them. When they found an
Like Hurt
IED,
Locker.
he went and took,
like
Hurt
Hurt
Locker
Locker,
movie. And he was taking apart a bomb and it blew
one,
up.
And one bit him, huh?
20 operations, making dramatic progress. And he's over there working with Israelis who also have experienced these sort of injuries.
That's what's called a hero, folks.
That really is. That is pretty,
Like Jerusalem Jane.
pretty amazing. Yes.
Do you know what he said to me?
What?
He said, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just Brian Mast. I was serving in the U.S. military, but I'm nobody. But one of the things I interviewed him. I'm going to write about this for Jerusalem Post and on my page. And he said, I'm nobody, but everybody has embraced me here with a love and a warmth I could never imagine. Again, everybody wanted to meet him. Everybody has loved him and just embraced him. And he was truly, truly overwhelmed. He really was. So he's such a sweet guy. He looks like he's 17. He's 34. But
Oh,
a really,
my
really
word.
nice guy.
I just had a brainstorm, Jerusalem Jane, while you were saying that, because on one of our trips to Israel, we providentially ran into a pastor from Uganda named Pastor Umar Malinde. And you may have seen the video. He was attacked by Muslims in Uganda on December 24th, 2011. And he was in Sheba Hospital. And Sheba Hospital takes care of these very traumatic cases. And he was there for several years and, scores of operations. We told you about him, didn't we?
Was he the one with the acid in his face?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I met him.
And did you see, you have met him?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see the video we did? I think we sent you the video.
Yes.
Well, guess what? I got a note from him today.
Really?
Today,
Well,
yeah,
there
there he
he
is
is
right
right
there.
there.
I got a note from him. It's January 23rd right now, 50 minutes after 4 o'clock. I got a note from him. Guess where he is, Jerusalem Jane?
Tel Aviv?
Abu Dhabi.
Sheba Hospital.
Oh,
He's back at Sheba, and he is having, I think, another operation.
right.
And kind of a tune-up thing. It would be phenomenal if we
Exactly.
could get Jane there to interview him with your cell phone or your camera or whatever, and we can do the
it.
story. You want to do that?
I would love to.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of Uganda,
We'll put that together.
speaking of Uganda, it is Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday.
Right.
I'd like to tell you a little terrible story about that country. And this is from January 21st. Pull it up, Mark.
I got it.
Imam in Uganda allegedly beats daughter to death for converting to Christ. Father also seeks to kill her traumatized 12-year-old sister, sources say. And here is an actual letter. It is unbelievable, the mentality. And this is dated December 13th of this past year, December 13th, 2014. And it's in regards to reentrusting my daughter, Naija Gaga Saida, to the born-again family. Suka Abdullah Ali, do entrust my above-named daughter from today, with the date, to Mr. Mukisa Grace. And I don't want to know I hear any matter concerning her because she confessed Christ as her personal savior. In brackets, changed from Islamic to Christianity. So you have in Uganda a man killing his own daughter for changing religions. Congratulations, Islam, on this Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Well, and some people say, well, it's the culture in Uganda. They're backward. They're African nation. It's, there's
No,
intelligence.
that happens
It's Islam.
everywhere.
Well, we also had 3 days ago, we had on bus line number 40 in Tel Aviv an attack by 23-year-old educated kid, went in the bus with a knife. Jane, where were you when you heard about that? And give us a feel for what took place and where that situation is right now.
Well, I was at home here in my house in Jerusalem when I heard about the news. And yeah, I'm not in Tel Aviv. If I was, I would have gone there. But I saw you had Michael on, who was there. So when something like that happened, like when the men were slaughtered in the synagogue that day, I went and sat at King David's casket. When this happened, I actually walked down to the Kotel, to the Wailing Wall, to the Western Wall, and just because my heart breaks, Tom, I can't explain it. When this happened over and over again, that the Jewish people are being attacked, what? Being Jewish. It makes me so angry, I want to scream, and it also breaks my heart, so I just cry. So I just went to sit at the Kotel to pray and to be amongst the Jewish people, and there were so many people there. And in one hand, people are mad, and I spoke to someone today saying, you know what people are mad about here in Israel, Tom?
What?
Why didn't they kill him? Why did they shoot him in the leg? Because now we have to see this whole farce. He's being treated in the hospital. He's going to go to prison. And here in Israel, they don't call it prison. They call it a hotel because the prisoner here has it nice. And when they say nice, I don't exactly know what they mean. But people are furious. Why didn't they shoot him? Now we have to have this whole farce. And his family can go sue the police for shooting their kid in the leg. So that's actually what I have heard people talking about.
And he will
today.
be released in a prisoner swap with the Palestinians within a few years, guaranteed.
Yeah,
They will trade 100 people like him for one person, or 1,000 people like him for one person.
Well, on the other side of that, the reason why they don't kill him, apart from the morality of a guy running away from you, there isn't an imminent threat. The potential intelligence gathering from this guy could find networks of the Hamas, could find a lot of stuff. So it's always very, very difficult, and our guys face it on the battlefield every day. Scoop these guys up, and when they were being properly investigated, it was fine. But now it's catch and release programs. At least the Israelis are holding on to them. All right, Jerusalem Jane, how could people contact you if they want to get in touch with you? And what do you got planned for the next week?
Well, if people want to get in contact with me, they should go on my Israel page. I have a page on Facebook called Israel One Nation. And I just reached 9,800 friends.
Hey!
Wow.
Come on, folks, let's get it to 10,000 by the weekend.
Wow. That's
That
pretty
would be
cool.
very cool.
Come on, 200 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you want to get a hold of me, go on Israel One Nation. That is me.
That's true.
Regarding what's coming up, well, I actually is going to be featured in one of the major newspapers here tomorrow. There's a big article about me and my life and who I am and what I'm doing here in Israel. So I'm very excited about that, actually. who knows what that's going to bring
Oh,
with
she's
for me,
like a
right?
celebrity now.
Let me hear her. Yeah, finish what you said at the end.
No, I'm just saying that who knows what's going to happen when this article comes out. I'm very excited about that, Tom.
Oh, now, what publication is that?
Do you think it's safe to say?
No, don't say it yet. Then when it comes out, we'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait until it comes out. What about that whole threat thing with you? Has that calmed down somewhat?
Yes, because I stay away from places where I'm not supposed to go.
Okay, that's good. But you're still going where
I
you
am-
should go. That's good.
Yeah, but you know me, right? There's a little rebel inside of me, so I will be going places soon. That's all I can say.
Okay.
She's Meshuggah.
No, she's not Meshuggah. She's a very smart lady who may have gathered a network of friends to help her out here and there.
Right.
You know, maybe. So things are looking good for Jerusalem, Jane. What's the weather like right now in Jerusalem? Here in Florida, it's hot and sweaty. What's going on in
It
Jerusalem?
is hot and sweaty here too. You can't believe how beautiful it has been here today.
It just snowed there.
It's not normal, the weather here. It's gorgeous. I was wearing summer shoes in Tel Aviv today. Can you believe it?
Oh.
It still gets chilly at night, but during the day in the sun, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, I have breaking news.
What's that?
What's
What are
that?
breaking news?
Brian Mast is running for Congress.
Oh,
the
really?
US?
Really, where?
I think he's the
That's
one.
here.
Debbie.
That's him. And
No.
the other night when we heard
We were
about it,
talking about
with
our person.
our district.
Yeah.
Oh, that's him.
Yes.
Oh.
Ready for me too.
How, now,
Yeah, he is.
okay.
Now it's all coming together who this guy is.
You're telling us news from Jerusalem that affects us 2 miles from here. That's
he's running.
pretty
He's running in our
That's
district.
real
Yeah,
reporter.
yeah.
I asked him if I could, because I'm going to be writing a blog about him on Jerusalem Post, and I said, can I? And he said, yeah, it's not a secret. I mean, I spilled the beans now anyway.
No,
so-
we heard that there was a well-known disabled vet who was going to be running, and
Yeah.
that's who he is.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Now, he doesn't live in that district, so he's going to have to figure that out
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
have to live in the district.
Yeah. Oh, he needs a P.O.
That
box.
could change things a little bit.
Yeah.
That could be very interesting. Okay. Hey, great work, Jerusalem Jane, 7,000 miles away, breaking these stories.
She breaks news in Florida from Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
She's so good.
What
She's
kind
so
of
good.
news source are you, Trento?
You're pretty good, man.
But
Let me
hey, I
tell
have
you.
been keeping an eye on you guys. You have had been speak with all the Muslim things in America, especially you, Damon.
Yeah, we had some fun in Dallas. Didn't
Yeah.
get to
I
get
saw
in.
you.
Yeah, we did. I wish we got to get into the event, but unfortunately, they rescinded my tickets after getting there.
Well, that's a developing story because there were so many
Okay.
wrongs on their part that we're pursuing that. And a lot of this stuff is it's slow, it's methodical, and you keep the pressure on, and that's the kind of stuff we do besides this jazzy, dazzy, smazzy stuff. All right, Jerusalem Jane, we're coming down to the end of the show. We got to let you go. Have a wonderful Shabbat, a wonderful
you.
weekend, and today is our last shows, folks, for this week. It's January 23rd, Friday, just about a minute or two left in the show. It's been a fabulous week. Janie, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
See ya.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So that was
Bye.
Jane. See ya.
Bye.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. That was our gal, Janie, doing tremendous work.
Breaking
over there.
news from Israel.
Breaking Florida news in Israel. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Does that make us a bunch of schmeckles?
Yeah.
That's right. It did.
Actually, the news was out. We just put
Right.
the,
We
we
just
didn't
did
connect
the
the
two
dots.
together.
Connect the dots.
That's pretty cool. Well, I'd say it was a pretty interesting week. Started out with these guys out in Garland, Texas. Go through a couple of attacks in Israel, and an imminent situation of. I got a minute left here. What do you got?
No.
What do you
got a
guys
lot.
have?
No, he's right on there.
What are you on your clock?
I'm at 48.
We're 49 minutes.
That's not right.
What's with the equipment today?
Okay.
Okay.
Right on this thing.
Yeah, we started
What's the
right on
stream
that.
say?
Look at it.
Okay.
Hey, folks, you're getting a real.
I
back-
could-
You're taking a
you
real
are getting
chance
a
here in this
back
one,
look.
Tom.
I
I'm
have a
telling you.
ton
We
of
could
stuff.
play this.
I'd say go for it.
We could just play that new video, I guess.
No, I have a ton of stuff.
I'm
I kind of sense.
What does the stream say?
All right. It's Friday, okay? Jumpin' Jumm'ah Freaky Friday. And either something got into our computer or our clock.
okay. Oh, you know what happened when it did that little glitch in the middle? You remember that little glitch?
Yeah, was that a
Oh, it
10-minute
started to
jump?
re-record.
No, it's
What happened? All right, for you driving in your cars,
We're a bunch of morons.
we want you to have a wonderful weekend. And we're going to have more stuff for you in a second. But we need you to
Okay.
go.
Go ahead. Close it. Yep, we're done.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Goodbye. We'll see you Monday. Goodbye, everybody. Take it easy.